Good. We are all set technically, and teachers, just give me a thumbs up when your students are all seated and settled and ready for session 2. And don't worry, if your mic isn't working, that's fine. Teachers, I'll be getting you to type some stuff into the chat, but you won't have to turn on your mic. Oh, good. Miss Armstrong's class is ready. They are seated and settled. Perfect. Mr. Pierce's class, just let me know when we are seated and settled.
Hey, Miss Michael, we're just trying to figure out the sound thing again. We're having some trouble.
Oh, so you can't hear me?
We can hear you, but only from my laptop. So I'm just trying to figure that out right now.
Okay.
Okay, just give me about 1 minute and I'll let you know.
Awesome.
Okay.
And Miss Armstrong's class, I'm going to show you something while we're waiting. Next week, you're going to receive a notebook and some pages. And then together, we're going to be doing some old school cutting and pasting. And we're going to be putting some things into this notebook so you can look forward to that activity. I thought maybe I would do them all ahead of time, but then I remembered that based on the number of classes that have joined us, I'd have to do 150 of these, and they each take about.
And they're grade 4 and 5. They can do that.
They can do. Yeah, you guys are smart enough. You could help me out with that. And if I was like, they take 15 minutes each. So if I was to do like, what is 150 times 15? Let's estimate. So 150 times 10. What's that about? About 1,500. I don't have 1,500 minutes to do this all by myself. So I'll get you guys to help out. Okay. And Mr. Peters' class, if they're really settled, can they hear me from your computer if I'm nice and loud? If I articulate?
All right, Miss Michael, we are good to go. I figured it out.
Bravo. I'm so proud. Because it's never easy. It's never easy. Okay.
All right, perfect.
Perfect. Okay. So here we are, session 2, assessment for learning. We are learning about deep questions because we're working on your brain. We're actually going to keep changing your brain over and over again, day after day. You remember last week? You can now. This is yes in sign language. Everybody can give me a yes if you remember looking at the tree. You remember the tree? Now, what I want to know is, do you remember the question that you were thinking? Because you had to come up with a question. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds just to try and remember your question. Don't panic if you don't remember. It's okay. Now, hand up high and give me a yes if you remember it. So this is yes in sign language. Yeah. Oh, good. Okay. I'm seeing lots of yeses. Good. Don't panic if you don't remember it. We're going to be doing this again. We're going to do the same activity. We have a new picture. So step 1, staff, you might need to support, and staff, if you don't mind joining a group, being a buddy with somebody, like if we need to make, ideally, we'd like groups of 3 for the chatter. So we're going to get together in groups of 3. If there's one group of 2, that's fine. So that we can together discuss one word that comes to mind when you look at these 2 gentlemen. I'll get a thumbs up from staff when we're in our groups of 3. Oh, I'm sorry, the audio is cutting in and out. Okay, so step 1 is we're getting into groups of 3. If we need to take a minute to shuffle, organize, and staff, if you need to join a group, that's great. Don't worry if there's 1 or 2 groups of 2, that's fine. And a thumbs up when we've got our groups of 3. Awesome. Okay. So in your group of 3, each person in the group gets to come up with 1 word that comes to mind when they see this picture. I'm going to give you a full 2 minutes to share and chat and think. This part's really important because we're activating our schema. All right, staff, thumbs up when you think they've had enough time to each share a word.
We have a few who would like to share words, so hands up. Olivia. Office was one of our
Good. Okay.
Noah. Sorry, guys. Noah's the only one talking right now. Albert Einstein.
That's good. Okay.
Olivia. Mystery. Vintage.
Vintage. Oh, wow. Fancy.
Old.
Mm.
And man.
Good ones.
Yeah.
Good ones. Okay. Mr. Armstrong's class, feel free. You can type it in the chat or microphone, whatever you prefer. I love it. We got a chat. Ooh, I like this because everyone now, Mr. Peters, are you able to open up the chat?
We came up.
Oh,
can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect. Yep.
Yes, I can open the chat as well.
Yeah, they can see what was typed. Also, Mr. Armstrong, sorry, your mic worked. Did you want to share or I can read out loud what you've got?
No, I can share. People, elderly, picture, senior, old, and also office.
Nice. Overlap. Very good. There's some commonalities there. Do you remember what we do next? I reveal. Get ready. The big reveal. After I reveal, actually, and I should prep everybody. I'm going to reveal, and we're going to do silence. It's going to be hard because it's so exciting. I'm going to reveal, and everyone will get 30 seconds of think time to view and have their own thoughts, because it's important to figure out what your own brain is doing before you start taking ideas from everybody else. Okay, so don't say anything. Here it comes. Okay. Now, students, teachers, in your groups, again, groups of 3, you can talk about what you're seeing. And as a group of 3, try to come up with 1 starter question about this picture. And staff, whenever you decide they're ready to share, go for it. We'll give them as much time as you need.
We are good to go.
All right. Share away.
So we had a very common question of why are old men playing video games? Then we had what game are they playing?
Ooh.
And why is one of them sitting on the floor?
Oh, good questions. Love it. Okay.
We just need 2 minutes to gather our questions here.
Great. Take your time.
Thank you.
No rush. And I love the word vintage. That's what I was thinking. Miss Armstrong's class, when I was looking at the furniture and the wallpaper, the fringe on the bottom of the velvet couch, very vintage. Good one. And question for Miss Armstrong's class while we're waiting. Do you remember why are we bothering to practice asking questions? Why bother? Okay. Yep. Good luck.
All right, we have our question.
Ready.
Questions.
Questions.
So our first one was, what game are they playing?
Good question.
Our second one was, why are old people playing video games? Our third question was, were they American presidents? Apparently, they look like American presidents.
That's interesting observation.
Yeah. Our next one was, why is the pop? Sorry, one sec. If I'm talking, you're not. Why is the popcorn so vibrant and yellow?
Ooh.
And what is their motive?
Their motive.
And our last
Interesting.
one was, are they brothers?
Oh, good questions, everybody. And while we're waiting for Miss Armstrong's class, I'll just ask you guys the same question I asked them. So, why are we bothering to practice asking questions? Why bother? Why practice?
So a few of the answers were, one was, last time we talked about how we usually answer questions instead of ask them. And the other one, Simon, you said?
I said,
oh, it makes our brains bigger.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you guys. You remembered. You remembered from last week. That was excellent. 2 important points. Okay. And fingers crossed that Miss Armstrong's volume is working okay this time. I'm going to go to the next slide. In worst case scenario, Miss Armstrong, worst case, if it's really not working, we could always, if Mr. Peters is up for it, Miss Armstrong's class could bring their chairs to your room. We did that with the intermediates when one class was having technical difficulties, smartboard issues. We'll give Miss Armstrong's class a minute.
We can do whatever works best for Miss Armstrong's class and the presentation.
Yeah. Yeah, you're cutting in or out. We may just have to watch the recording. Oh, good idea. Yeah, sorry, Miss Armstrong. That's going to probably mess with your schedule a little bit, but that's why we record. All right. So you do whatever works for you, and I will carry on. Yes, definitely. We are practicing asking questions because if we get good at it, we are making our brains smarter, and we actually need to intentionally make time to practice because usually at school we're answering questions instead of asking them. Well done, everybody. That idea of the fact that we can change our brains, don't forget this word. Everybody say neuroplasticity. Plasticity. That's the magic word. If you throw that out in conversations with your family, they're going to be like, wow, you are smart. We're going to do a little neuroplasticity. In your group, you're already there. In your group, you are looking at this picture and coming up with one word. I'm not going to ask for your word this time. I'm just going to give you time to do that.
Miss Michael, can that picture be made bigger by any chance?
Yes, it can.
They can't see it too well.
Thank you for asking. It's a little bigger.
Yeah, we can see it.
And this picture's a little tricky. It is hard to tell what you're looking at. It'll get better when I display.
Miss Michael, would you like me to record their words or do you want them to say it too?
Oh, you know what? So have they had enough time? They've got their word?
We'll give them another minute, but which one would you like? Would you like them to just come up and say it?
Guess what? They can just keep those words. We're just going to go right to questions.
Okay.
Okay. You just let me know when you're ready for the next.
No. Okay.
And what I'll do is I'm going to say right now. So groups, once you have your question, once you have your word, if Mr. Peters can just give me a thumbs up, then I will reveal.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Here comes the big reveal. Now unfortunately, I have to stop sharing. It'll get small for a minute, but then it will get bigger. Okay, so I'm going to move this cover and show. Okay. Now you're used to having think time. So 30 seconds of shh. Don't talk to the people in your group. Give yourself think time. Okay, so you've had your own think time. Now, together with your pod of people, you three can come up with one question about what you're looking at.
All right, I think we have our questions.
Ready?
Can I have them come up one by one to say their question?
I would love that.
Okay.
Okay.
We're all quiet, letting the person who's coming up give their question. So Avery, come on up so Mrs. Michael can hear. Okay, so what's your question, Avery?
Why are they jumping with no safety?
Good question.
All right, Gia, next one.
Like, is it like or is it like
So is it photoshopped or is it a sinkhole or something like that?
Ah, is it photoshopped? Yeah.
Simon?
Are they gonna die?
That's a good question.
Are they jumping into a hole?
Good question.
And Alexis Cooper? Alexis?
Why are they ending their life?
Why are they ending their life is another question. Make
All
sure
right.
they're appropriate.
How far are they jumping?
Good question.
And last one, Christian.
Ready, get ready. Who cut out the seaweed?
He's wondering who cut out the seaweed.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
So to ease your minds a little bit, maybe it's hard to tell based on the quality of the picture. There's water. So they're jumping off a cliff for sure. They're jumping into water, but I'm in the same boat as you. I don't know if that is some sort of cavern in the water. Are they jumping into a cenote in Mexico? What is a cenote? Is that seaweed? Is that algae? There's so many questions I have too, but good news. It is unlikely they're going to get injured. They're jumping into water, but I also have many questions. Okay, so this is fun. Are you ready for the next one? Next one. Here we go. Da-da-da. Okay. With your group. This is a little girl pressed up against something, looking at something. So I'll give you time with your group to think of a few words. Then, Mr. Peters, you just give me the thumbs up when you're ready for the reveal.
So would you like us to ask our questions for the picture or our word?
So words now, and then I'll reveal, and then we can do questions. So do you want to share your words? That'd be okay. Sure.
Simon? Word.
Aquarium.
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 It seems like that was multiple of their words.
Okay.
If that wasn't your word, keep your hand up. Avery. Zoo? I'm just going to wait for quiet. Joanna. Kid. And our last one, or second last one, Elsie? Tank. And yeah. We had aquarium before? Oh. Yes. Yes, I know our screen's going off, guys. What's up? Filter is our last one.
Ooh, fancy. Okay. I will reveal, but you're going to be silent. Think time. Here it comes. No, nobody talks. Nobody talks. Hands down. You're just having your own private think time. Gathering your own thoughts. making connections to your own experiences. In your group, you're working together. Each person in that group might have an amazing question, but together as a group, you're going to decide upon one to share. So take your time, talk to your group members.
All right, Miss Michael, we have some questions.
Ready?
All right, we're going to have them come up one by one. Once everyone's quiet, we're waiting here. Hands up. David, you're going to come up and ask first? Or you can ask from right there, and I'll ask.
What type of animal is that?
What type of animal is that?
Gender specific. It could be.
Lachlan. Sorry, I can't hear Lachlan. Is the manatee just big, or is the girl really small?
Oh, good question.
Yeah. Simon. Does it have a face? It's kind of hard to see the face.
Good question.
Elsie?
Is it a manatee and why is it so chunky?
Is it a manatee, and why is it so chunky?
Why is that manatee overweight? Yep,
Yes.
good.
Noah. Yep. How old is the kid?
Okay.
And yeah, Livia.
How big is that?
How big is the manatee? How much does it weigh?
Great questions, everybody.
And our last one here.
Okay.
Yes. So from the perspective of the photo, does it make the manatee look bigger than it is, or is it just that big?
Awesome. So all about perspective. Great questions. Great questions. Okay. So we're not going to go through the whole rigmarole again because we've got a little bit of time, but just for fun, I'm just going to show you this picture. So, we've got a little baby, we've got some words popping into mind, toddler, crawling, cute. Okay. And just for fun, I'm going to show you what's going on in this picture. You probably have questions. What's happening there? Okay, we're not gonna. No need to share your questions about that one. We're gonna move on. That's just one of my favorite pictures. I think the toddler in brown is just being helpful. That's my thought. Okay, just trying to get out the door. So, learning to ask deep questions makes your brain smarter. So, deep questions. This is interesting. Do you remember we talked about what we've been doing was creating starter questions? Starter questions. I think my slides are a little out of order. I want to find my starter question slide. Okay, so a starter question is one that has a yes or no answer, or a one number, one word answer, or a quick Google search. For example, how much does the manatee weigh? Are they jumping into water? Yes or no? Is this safe? Yes or no? So well done. You have been doing a really good job of creating starter questions. And they are good to practice because starter questions kick off big inquiry projects. You need to know how to do those. That's good. Now, what we're trying to do, though, is we're trying to come up with deeper questions. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is learning how to make our starter questions deep. So, Mr. Peters, after you give your class time to give you ideas, we're going to write our learning goal together for all of these sessions. So I want you as a class, come up with one statement that talks about what we are trying to do. What is our main goal? So I'll give you a couple minutes. Whenever you're ready, just let me know.
All right, Miss Michael, we have a few co-created learning goals for what we think we're looking for here.
Okay.
So one is to ask more deep questions. Another is to understand the difference between a deep question and a starter question.
Ooh.
And our last one is to put deeper thought into our questioning.
Wow. Amazing. I feel bad. I'm just going to put do not disturb on my phone. Sorry.
Sorry, Miss Michael, someone's calling me on the phone. Just 1 second?
Yeah, good. Okay, I'll talk to your class. So class, amazing. I love those ideas. And I think what I'll do is I'll combine them and document it. And so that next time we meet, I'll have that written down. And you're right. The learning goal will be something like I like that idea of learn how to tell the difference between deep questions and starter questions. And maybe an addition like get in the habit of asking both at the right time. I'll take all your ideas and I'll make them all into one nice, comprehensive piece of information, because next time we meet, we'll talk about what the success criteria is for a deep question. Like we know what success criteria is for a starter question. We'll co-create success criteria for a deep question together. And teachers, staff, just, this is where we are on our assessment for learning roadmap. We started with diagnostic assessment about basic question asking. Today, we're looking at creating that learning goal based on our class discussions. And next week, we'll look at co-created success criteria. With any luck, we'll be able to meet on April 27th. Fingers crossed that date works. And fingers crossed that I have the materials ready for you to get your questioning notebook ready. And I hope Mr. Peters might be still on the phone. But I'll let you guys know that this is all we need to do for today. So that's the end of session 2. And looking forward to seeing you outside during a warm recess. Now, does anybody have any questions for me, or are we all good?
I can check here. Just 1 sec. Do
Okay.
we have any questions for Mrs. Michael at all? I guess we're good.
Well done. All right. See you on April 27th.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. I'm stopping the recording, I hope. Manage recording. It always takes me a minute to stop the recording. There we go. Bye-bye.